question. And it's Charlie, and the quote says, "Never underestimate the power of your voice and the impact you can have on the world when you speak up for what you believe in." So there's nothing wrong with that, right? That's a great quote. There's nothing that is partisan about this. There's nothing that is inflammatory about this. I mean, this is one of the most innocuous things that you could put up in the classroom. What are people taking exception with the power of your voice or using it to speak up for things in which you believe? Well, apparently one student thought so. And so this teacher who had this poster in their classroom, William Loggins, he's a social studies teacher at Horizon High School in Orange County. There was a student, a singular student, who took issue. And of course, they said what you would imagine they would say. They said that Charlie Kirk is, quote, "a Nazi and a fascist," end quote, and the poster would have to come down. I feel bad for the teacher in the instance because he's there to teach social studies, not basic English and definition of words. So the principal at that time was outside the classroom when the student made the comment, and he had originally said, "Don't worry about it." But then there was reason for him to worry about it. He had to remove the poster. It was considered divisive. Joining us now in video is that professor, William Loggins. He's a teacher at the Horizon High School in Winter Garden, Florida. He is the teacher who put up the poster in question, as well as the Lake County Commissioner, Anthony Sabatini, who has been talking about this story and is now involved in working with a teacher on this. Welcome to both of you, Anthony and William. It's a pleasure to have you on the show. William, let me just start with you. This poster, there's nothing wrong with it. It's an uplifting quote. It's about as innocuous as the kitten that hangs onto the branch and says, hang in there. I mean, it's just one of those typical classroom posters. And from my understanding, you also feature posters and quotes of Martin Luther King Jr. and Rosa Parks and, everybody of every background from what I've read. But there was exception taken specifically to this. Tell me some insight on this.
Well, like you mentioned, I do put a lot of inspirational quotes up in my classroom. I've been teaching now for about 8 years, and I've been in Orange County School District for 4 years now. And lately, the last couple of years, it just seems like I've been very encouraged with this upcoming generation. I mean, they seem to hunger for information and for inspiration. And I see that a lot in my students. I teach a law class, comprehensive law honors, and we're actually been learning about the Bill of Rights, the Constitution, the First Amendment especially. And so this was just after Charlie Kirk was assassinated. I saw this poster and I said, that would make a good inspirational quote to put up in my room. And when I put it up, it was a lot of positive feedback from a lot of students. And and I've gotten questions about why is it not there anymore. I've been teaching them about the First Amendment, and they're wondering, why did I have to remove that poster?
Wow. And so they're all aware of it. And the article that I was referring to, they said the principal at the time told you it was a complaint from a student. Don't worry about it. Other teachers have similar posters, but then you did have to worry about it.
Yeah, the principal, he told me. I stepped out in the hall and told him that I had a complaint about the poster, and he told me, don't worry about it. We have inspirational posters from all kinds of people. So, but then a few days later, he visits my classroom. He said that the student had sent an email to him to complain. So he had to forward it to the district for advice. And of course, they told him that I would have to remove it.
And they were saying it was of political in nature. Anthony Sabatini is also joining us, and Anthony works at the Sabatini Law Firm. He also works as an attorney and county commissioner of Lake County, Florida. Anthony, you're the attorney here, so you enlighten us, because that's not a political poster. There's no political message in this. So that, in my estimation, my non-lawyerly mind, I'm looking at this thinking there's no violation of contract or school policy here.
Absolutely not. They have policies. Bill knows the policies. We all know the policies, and there's no violation of the policy. This is just classic viewpoint discrimination. This is straight up looking and saying, hey, that's a picture of Charlie Kirk. We don't like Charlie Kirk, so you have to remove that. It's purely because they don't like his political views, et cetera. And so even though the views aren't even expressed on the poster, this is not a partisan poster, this is not a Republican poster. In fact, it's, like you mentioned, innocuous, inspirational, very simple quote. So they're just pinpointing people in society that they don't like. And the fact that they're doing this quite literally right after he was brutally murdered in the most significant political assassination in decades makes it even more crass. So we've already filed a grievance with the school system. We're waiting to hear what they're going to say. Hopefully they let him put this poster back up. But if they don't, we definitely have grounds for a First Amendment retaliation lawsuit, because they're just limiting his speech because they don't like his selection of posters. And it's just totally absurd. You know, this is Orange County. This is one of the few blue counties left in the state of Florida. It's been problematic for the governor and for the legislature. And they're just, if it's not this, it's another thing. They're constantly violating the law. They're constantly targeting people who don't conform apparently to their radical left-wing agenda. And as we spoke about earlier, this same school district, although it's got this on its face neutral policy that says no political symbols, no political figures, they're allowing all types of partisan and political symbols and figures in the classroom. They're putting up posters of rainbow flags and pride flags all throughout the campus.
If you're looking to create a stable financial future, consider Noble Gold Investments. Gold and silver are tangible assets, not just numbers on a screen, with thousands of years of trust behind them. Gold IRAs let you hold real assets in tax-deferred or tax-free retirement accounts. Noble Gold is the #1 ranked gold IRA company for 4 years running, handling over $2.5 billion in precious metal transactions. And here's what's to like about Noble Gold. Their US-based team is available 6 days a week, providing personalized and consistent service. Pricing is clear with no hidden fees or fine print. Whether you're setting up a gold IRA or making a direct purchase, they make it simple. You even get a photo of your actual metals. Hundreds of thousands of happy customers come back and refer others because of Noble Gold's helpful, informed, and straightforward approach. Open a new IRA or cash account now and receive a free 10-ounce silver flag bar plus a silver American Eagle-proof coin. Visit noblegoldinvestments.com/Dana. That's noblegoldinvestments.com/Dana.
But apparently a picture of Charlie Kirk is a stretch too far.
To your point on that, if we could throw up this element here, because this is this currently, Kane, on their website, the Orange County Public Schools? So on their website, just literally right before both of you gentlemen joined, this image is currently on the website, LGBTQ+ Awareness History Month. That seems like a direct political proclamation. So how I'm trying to understand, I don't think they have a legal argument here, Anthony.
No, I don't think they have any law on their side. But what you'll find with these local governments is attorneys, in this case, the school board attorney, are willing to put forth a bunch of gobbledygook, goofy letterhead sort of nonsense saying that they're justifying what they're doing. Why? Because they know that they'll be fired by the board if they don't. If this school board attorney said, hey, you have a right to do that, this radical school board would probably make a motion to fire her immediately. And so, you know, you see that a lot in local government, but once they're challenged and a judge steps in, usually that's what is necessary to correct the situation. And we'll see what happens with the grievance we file. But if they don't do the right thing at that stage, they're going to lose at the next stage.
Wow. And William, I'm sure, I would hope that you've heard from other students who did have an alternate point of view from the one student that complained using that very incendiary language. You know, he's a Nazi, he's a fascist, etc. Did you hear from other students who had very different ideas about the matter?
Yes, absolutely. In fact, I had several of my students are wanting to start a chapter of Turning Point USA.
Wow.
At our school. The principal encouraged me to do so, to get it done. So I have a student that has applied for that. I know that since the assassination, they're pretty much flooded with applications, so it may take a while. So I requested, along with some students, if we could start a different club that's similar to what Turning Point USA stands for, because I have a lot of seniors, and I hate for them to miss out. And those mostly seniors are the ones who are wanting this club. And so I talked to him about maybe we could start something for the meantime until we get our chapter of Turning Point USA. Then we can dissolve this club into and just have the Turning Point USA club.
That's pretty amazing. And as you noted, yeah, there is they've had I think what is it, over 400 something% increase in applications
Yeah.
to create these clubs. For those just joining us, we're talking with a teacher at a Florida school district who has filed a grievance against the school because they would not allow a poster, very uplifting, very motivational quote, Charlie Kirk, but then they have the pride flags and the trans flags and the all gender flags. Anthony, I don't know if there's, what legal perspective can be invoked here, but you have one student who complained. And as William is saying, it sounds like that one student is outnumbered by all of the students who are saying they liked it, and therefore they even want to create this club now at their school. I mean, surely the district can be prevailed upon to recognize, as you were saying, that it is viewpoint discrimination.
Absolutely. That's exactly what this is. And, it's important to note that, yeah, they're using one student's complaint out of thousands. This is a very large high school, too, by the way, in West Orange County, out of thousands of students who attend the school. But that's really meant as a pretext. They use it as an excuse. Oh, one student complained. Really, the complaint is coming from the administration and likely the school board, who are obviously extremely hostile to anyone who's even faintly seen as conservative or even moderate. I mean, you got the bleeding heart giant LGBTQ flag all over the website, blasting it in your face. But this very small poster among many in one classroom of one high school in one of the largest counties in the state apparently is a problem. So clearly, viewpoint discrimination coming from the board. We're going to be sending this to the new education commissioner in the state of Florida, who's been great on this issue so far of fairness for teachers who want to display posters that I think are, obviously good. And the other thing I would just mention about this is, Charlie Kirk just yesterday won the Presidential Medal of Freedom. Only 700 people have done that. He's objectively a great and inspiring person for the younger generation. So I just think it's particularly evil, actually, for them to try to go out of their way to remove this poster when they have so many other problems in the public school system today.
That's a great point. Last question for you, William. Well, I'm also going to ask how far you all are going to fight with us, too. But I would imagine this is such an amazing learning opportunity as well for your students, to say nothing of the incorrect usage of the invectives that the student who was complaining was using to describe the poster. But your students are watching you stand up for free speech rights, because obviously this is meant to have a chilling effect, not just on you, but also for all of the students that are in your classroom, all of the students that are in that district, something of which I'm sure you're very well aware.
Yeah, and especially with my law students, we talk about Tinker versus Des Moines, and we talk about different things about the First Amendment and their student rights and everything. And it's just, you can imagine how confusing this is for them. Their teacher can't even put up a poster with an inspirational quote from someone as well known and respected as Charlie Kirk.
Yeah. Anthony, how far will this go?
I think this will, I hate to say it and I want to forecast, but I think this does end up in court, because if they don't step down and fix it, let them have the poster go up. I think there's one more step in the administrative remedies that we're allowed. And then after that, we have standing to file a lawsuit, and we will file a lawsuit if they don't allow him to put this poster back in. So that could be the next couple weeks, could be much quicker. We'll find out. We'll be sure to let you know as soon as we make our decision.
Yes, thank you for that. Very much want to continue following this story, because this is so much more than just a poster, as everybody knows. And this, I hate that you have to go through this. William Loggins, I so appreciate you helping to shape the young minds and shepherding the next generation, and for your fortitude and willingness to fight this, because this will have a precedent for a lot of other individuals. And Anthony, for you taking this on and being so vocal in this fight and so ferocious necessarily about it. Grateful to both of you, and please keep us updated. We're going to follow it. And I can't believe I have to say hopefully, you should prevail So we're going to continue following this story, and we'd love to have you both back. Thank you both so much for what you do. We're grateful. God bless you.
Thank you, Dana.
Of course. Thanks for watching The Dana Show. Make sure